Welcome back. Pull up a stump and enjoy, relish in the delicious idle. I'm going to relate to you some oral history from around the time of the turn of the previous century, the 1900s, after the Great Boer War in the Dominion of South Africa, and before the Great War, when they still hadn't figured out what to do with all these surplus young men. Send them off to Canada, Western Canada. Pioneer years, man and beast. Where have all the buffalo gone? The atmosphere then was much clearer than it is now, and you could stand on a little rise and look way off far into the distance. And in the spring, the prairie would look sort of white. You know what that would be from? Bones of buffalo. The prairie would give off a whiteness from these old bones, and they'd be everywhere, just everywhere. If you lived near the railroad, you could sell those bones, $5 or $6 for a wagon load, I believe, and they were shipped off to Ontario for something, I don't know what. They made something with them, but $6 for a wagon load or a ton, whatever that was not very good for a 60-mile round trip. We never did it. And buffalo wallows. My dad used to hate them. You never see them today, I don't suppose, but them days, at the turn of the century, they was everywhere. They were round, about so deep, about 8 feet in diameter, and the buffalo rolled around in them to clean his fur of lice or ticks. He'd gradually wear the ground down, well, as deep as he could climb out of it. One wallow, one buffalo, although a lot of buffalo would use the same wallow. They were everywhere, and they made it hard when it came to plow your land, to break land. Caused a lot of cursing, them wallows, I can tell you. But the buffalo, all gone when we got there, gone for many years. I'm a bit of a historian, you know, and I read a lot anyway. What I can't figure out is how, if there was millions of buffalo, where did they all go to? Now, a buffalo is a pretty big animal, and I know some were shot for winter food and the like for buffalo robes, but how could millions go in just a few years? Those old books will tell you of herds that took all day to pass a camp, tens of thousands of them. What happened to them? Did they all decide to go to the States and get themselves killed off by those crazy Americans? Like when my dad came out here. He still expected to see buffalo, but there was none. That was 1890. But there was the bones, and for weeks they'd use buffalo chips for making campfires. So the buffalo had been there. So what happened? I don't know. I never read me a history book yet that even had one good explanation. Not one.